Well, hello, friends, neighbors. John, your neighbor here, walking down the Nook. Midweek, still sort of holidays around here, and I actually wanted to get in on the next part of the Kirkland pack. I opened this pack up with you guys live just a couple of days ago. Maybe I'll put that over here. And we tasted the Speyside 10 and the Highland 12, so two major Scotch regions. Now, I just opened on the short, so I didn't do it quite live with you, but I did it live just a moment ago. The Lowland Single Malt and then the Islay Single Malt. So these are all single malts, actually. They're all from a distillery. I'm sure they're all different distilleries. And they represent some of the major regions. Of course, you know, the major regions, we've got Islay, Lowland, Highland, Speyside. We're definitely going to say Islands, and of course, Campbelltown, which now only has, I think, maybe there's more now, but, you know, a few key Scotch producers, but boy, they made a lot in the day. Anyways, today I'm going to talk Lowland and Islay. So if you have any Lowland Scotch or Islay Scotch, or even this taster pack from Kirkland, pour it. Come on back. Scotch is better shared, and we'll just share some thoughts. 3, 4. Thanks for coming back. And as I said, the opener, I hope you poured a little something. So this next region after doing Speyside and Highland is Lowland Single Malt. Now, there's not that many distilleries that I'm familiar with in Lowland. I'd have to say Bladnoch, Lochley, Auchentoshan are pretty much, Glenkinchie are pretty much the ones that I've had the most of. And lately I've had quite a bit of Lochley. I used to have more Auchentoshan. Not saying that this is Auchentoshan. I really don't know what it is. But anyways, what's odd about these next two, these clearly say matured in ex-bourbon. That's majority of Scotch, and then often maybe finished with a bit of sherry, that kind of thing. This says finished in bourbon oak casks, which is really strange because does that mean they were aging in just well-used casks? What were they aging in if not ex-bourbon? Because that is the very most common cask. Now, of course, it could be fully matured in ex-sherry, ex-wine, you name it casks. Rarely new oak for Scotch. Sometimes there's a finish or a portion in new oak to give it a bit more oakiness, but it's just on to me that these say matured in ex-bourbon. Yeah, great, that's what I'd expect. And these both say finished in ex-bourbon. That was a long intro. Let's talk about this Lowland Scotch. Now, I haven't had enough to say what's really characteristic. And even though I said I get, you know, maybe more aromatics from Highland, a little more orchard fruit from Speyside, Lowland to me is usually lighter, creamier, grainier, but I have no idea what I'm going to get out of this particular one. Let's try it on the nose. Oh, I should have poured these two just as references, because now this is a little more sweet almond, a little more nutty, a little more vanilla. Absolutely. When I say absolutely, it means I'm locking in on that answer. That's what I'm going for. This is the first time I just poured it. I haven't had it in the palate. Let's make that correction. Sláinte that to your health. That is a really nice, creamy, coating, almond, vanilla, marzipan, light mix, but not light like. Definitely dial down the fruit from both of these. Not getting the peppering that I was getting out of Highland. Not the fresh cut orchard that I was getting out of the Speyside. Just that. Light, but creamy, oily, slightly nutty. Go ahead and try another sip, Sancha. I've been saying the spice a lot lately. Maybe I'm looking for it. But I am getting a little bit of the kind of ginger you get in a ginger snap cookie. So a little bit of ginger, some sugars with that. Then I'm getting a little bit of alcohol heat, like a little bit of, you know, throat burn, that kind of thing, which speaks to, you know, while these have 10 and 12 years as the youngest liquid that could be in here, this is not age stamp. There easily could be 3-year-old in here. Having said that, that youngness right there did speak a little bit like Lochley. I said I wasn't going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to guess who it is, but if I were to guess, out of the very few Lowlands that I've really experienced, it tasted a bit like that. And I like it. So I'm enjoying this one right now. Let's clear the palate and go over to Islay. So Islay is definitely a famous Scottish region. It's on an island and historically a little bit separated from the mainland, even with the distribution of natural gas, which took over from other sources of drying that malt. And so while the mainland kind of got into that clean, nice malt, Islay stayed harvesting what they had, which was peat. And peat then would fuel the fires that would stop the malting process once the barley had opened up, but leaving behind the characteristic smoke and oiliness of peat. So this is Kirkland's take. I mean, Alexander Murray is the producer. I can't tell where the label is. Anyways, so it's an independent bottler that produces these for Kirkland. Of course, Kirkland does not make or bottle their own stuff, but it's from Islay. It's from the island, and I'm imagining it's going to be smoky and oily and peat. Excuse me. How much so? I don't know. I haven't had it. So let's give it a nose. This, no name, and again, no name, no age, and again, oddly marked finished in bourbon casks. This is what you'd expect from an independent bottling of affordable Scotch. Hey, these are all 46%, which is quite nice. It's a little bit oily, a little bit smoky, a little bit lemony. Yep, lemon drop, sweet candy with a bit of that smoke and oil. Let's try it on the palate. Sláinte. Okay, I'm a little bit surprised in the palate with some nice malt, kind of nice malt sugar, because otherwise it speaks exactly like the nose. I've got some citrus, I've got some sweet sugar, and then I've got peat. And here the peat isn't overly medicinal, but there's a little bit of that in there. A little bit of brine, a little bit of salt, lots of ash, lots of old campfire. Another sip to see if there's anything else in here. Sláinte. Maybe got a lick of oak in there with the ash and campfire. Sweet sugar. The lemon went away, so I'm hoping it's going to come back because I actually like a little bit of lemon curd or custard in with my peat. So these four actually, I think, are a great deal if you're new to Scotch, you're looking for a gift pack. I actually think they do a great job hitting the highlights of the regions. Are these going to win awards? Are they going to make you run out and say, you know what, I love this is my favorite region? Well, I don't think so. But they are interesting, and I think I'm getting very characteristic notes across the range. I might be preferring, tough to say today. I've had, not this, maybe they're different batches. I've had Kirkland's Islay Single Malt and often suggest it as an entrance Islay malt. If you're looking for a full peated dram that's, a little more affordable, tasty, and you're in an area that Costco sells it, that's a pretty good deal. I have to say I'm a bit surprised by this Lowland. It might be, I gotta shoot it against the Speyside, it might be my favorite of the lineup, which is a total surprise for me. Of these two, I thought I might like the Highland 12-year-old, who doesn't like a little more age on their Scotch, but I did like, it was a little too peppery, a little bit too something else. I found the nice fruits on the Speyside. The winner for me, maybe this Lowland, but that's just my thoughts. Hopefully what I gave you is a little bit of what you may taste in these, and to say if you're in Alberta and you see these on for 69 Canadian. I've heard some comments on my last video that some people are getting it for 30 bucks US or something. Look, at 30 bucks US, I'd probably buy a couple, not because they're great, but they'd be nice for an entrance flight, having a few friends over, and hey, you want to try this Highland or Speyside? The next thing they should do is do a flight with pick one, and then do it just different cask finishings and give us a chance to try, okay, this is the same distillery, same core malt, same release, all the goodness that is, but this one's finished in that cask and the other. That's not what's in front of us here. Just anybody who's watching, that'd be a good idea for you Kirkland people. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on the last one, and please this one too. Share which one you like, which one you really don't. And would you buy it again? Would you recommend it to friends? Any thoughts are welcome.